Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dani Rios, for those that don't know me. Today I am going to be talking about my New Year's resolutions and some things that I am trying to implement in 2020. It basically is only, what, 13 days into the year. I'm just gonna tell you some of the things that I kind of want to change in my life this year. So yeah, let's do this. So one of the main things that I'm trying to do this year is to be a little bit more sustainable. I've always been really into wellness, honestly, and I've always liked, you know, to be as like natural as possible. But it's hard, you know, because sometimes when you know, are a little bit more on the bougie side, it's like you kind of don't care so much about the environment, and you end up buying a lot of products or using a lot of products that are just not good for our environment. And also most of the time actually, it's easier to just buy water bottles. It's easier to just buy all this stuff that is like really harmful to our planet. But this year I really want to focus on like being more like cautious about it and more conscious about the choices that I make that affect our world. So my main thing this year is I want to be more sustainable. And honestly, I'm gonna be real, up to this point, I've pretty much failed a little bit. Like in some cases I've done well, where I go to the grocery store and I don't get any bags. But it is so hard, guys. Like, I've noticed that because we do this all the time, like it's not like a thought in my mind like, hey, I'm going to the grocery store, let me bring my bags so I don't use paper bags from Trader Joe's. Like, it honestly is so hard because we are so used to doing things like our own way. And so like now that I'm trying to be like sustainable, I realize like, oh my God, I live such an unsustainable lifestyle just because it's like bags, I always forget to bring them, so I end up having to get bags. My straws that I have, like my metal straws, I always forget to bring them with me, so then I have to use regular straws, and then like it breaks my heart. Or sometimes I will just get not a lid and like drink it. But I mean, a lot of places like Hola Cafe has actually, which is a coffee shop here in Dallas, they actually have lids. Actually, I think Starbucks too, or some coffee shop I went to recently had just lids where they don't have a straw. You basically just drink it like that. So I think everyone is just trying to be more cautious for sure. So it's kind of helpful, because if they weren't trying to be cautious, I definitely would just like be a big failure. So this is something that I definitely need accountability on, and I'm going to try my best to be a little bit more sustainable. I did buy a Brita water purifier. I'll leave the link down below for the one that I got. But like, that is one thing that I'm doing well on. I hated that we would buy so many water bottles, because we would go, well, I don't drink that much water, but I would still feel bad because it's like so much plastic that you're wasting constantly, especially if you don't drink your water the whole, you know, all the time, and just leave them like, one, you're wasting plastic and you're wasting water. So it's like, it's such a waste. So I decided to finally get myself a water purifier, and so far so good. So that's one thing I'm doing well. And yeah, I mean, for me, like, I think right now those are like big enough things and big enough changes that I need to implement in my life before I move into something else. Of course, once I get that down, then I'll move to some other ways to be sustainable. But if you have any tips or anything that you think is bad for our environment that you might think I do, or that we all do, I really want to know. I want to know more ways that I can be sustainable. And yeah, let me know down below in the comment section. So another thing that I'm working on is kind of my fitness. I've been into fitness for the last 4 years, but last year I actually lost a lot of weight, and I did get to a point where I was like, oh my gosh, I genuinely am like skinny. Like, I've always been small, but like literally my jeans were not fitting. And it's fine, obviously I like it, but I did also realize that because I wasn't working out so much, I lost a lot of muscle. So I lost a lot of leg muscle, a lot of butt muscle, and I'm trying to gain my muscle back. So I have purchased the Tammy Hembrow app, and I'm going to start building my booty, and I'll obviously do kind of like my journey on my Insta stories, so make sure you go follow me at littlemexico.com, or Little Mexico, but you can also go to my website littlemexico.com. But yeah, so I'm kind of just trying to be more focused about my fitness goals and just making sure I do that and hit that kind of stuff. I actually have a video coming out on Friday, and it's going to be all about the wellness stuff that I do and the fitness things that keep me in shape. So be on the lookout for that. Subscribe to my channel. But one of my main I guess resolutions for this year is to not be so busy and to be in the moment. For the last 3-4 years, I've been so constant about everything, and like I've worked so hard, like literally just so much all year round. Like if you were to see my calendar, it's just, I shock myself because I'm like, wow. And yeah, obviously I love being productive, but I think I've gotten to a point where I'm genuinely like so happy with my life, and I just genuinely want to chill. Like I just want to chill, hang out with my friends, but like not be stressed. And I realized, like, yes, I was productive and I would do a lot of things, but I was also very constantly stressed because I would try to fit in a lot in a day. So my New Year's resolution is kind of to just like let it be. Yeah, like I'll have a to-do list, but if a certain thing in my to-do list is stressing me out, I'm just gonna do it the next day, or I'm just not gonna do it at all if it's not that important. But yeah, I kind of just want to eliminate stuff that's not so necessary, and kind of goes back to, I don't know if you guys ever heard about like the jar with the rocks and the sand. Basically, if you put the sand in first, you won't be able to put in rocks in the jar. Basically saying, like, if you're just constantly doing all these little things and little tasks, like you're never gonna have time for the important things, as opposed to like putting the important things first in the jar, and then you can always fill the jar up with the little things, which is like the sand, and it all fits if you do that. So I'm kind of trying to do that. I really want to focus obviously on my relationships with people, and just, you know, being there for people and not being so constantly doing things all the time and not being like in the moment. And I think, I don't know if that has to do anything with like me having a boyfriend now and me being a little bit more selfless. And I guess before I had no reason to be, I mean, like selfless in the sense of like I was just kind of doing everything that I loved and being a little bit more about me and my goals and everything. And like now it's like, okay, there's someone else in the mix, and obviously I have to take, you know, their time and their wants and needs into my life, which ultimately, like, I have to sacrifice like a lot of time and stuff to be with him and like to hang out with him and, you know, do things with him. So I don't know if that's a part of the reason, but maybe it is, maybe it's not. All I know is that this year I just want to chill, and I actually didn't give myself a lot of career goals. Not saying that I don't want to work anymore, but I'm pretty content with everything I've accomplished in the last few years, and I know there's always room to grow and you can always do so much more. But I think like if it comes, that'll be awesome, and thank you, Jesus. But I feel like it's not my #1 priority this year. So now a different resolution is basically, not a resolution, but something I really have been terrible at. And again, I'm gonna be honest, like I'm trying to be as real as possible. I have not, last year was hard for me to kind of keep my constant quiet time, prayer time with God. I was really busy, and in my mind I always tried to prioritize my time with God, and yes, go to church every Sunday and do this and that and serve at church and be there for people and, you know, read my devotionals and all of that. But I think being more intentional about setting a time aside in the morning to like really focus on like worshiping and praying and like reading my Bible was something like I definitely didn't do last year, which I really am trying to do this year. And I mean, so far obviously like it hasn't gone as well, like only just because I just got back from Mexico, and then I went to Austin this weekend. But like now that I'm back home, like this morning I definitely woke up, put worship music, read some books, and kind of was just like praying and kind of meditating on stuff. And that's really something big for me this year, is to just really be in tune with like what God wants for my life. Because like I just said, like this year is just kind of like I have no desire to, I guess, like grow in my career. And like, I don't know, I guess you get to a point where like maybe like money really isn't everything. And like, yes, I still want things, but like I think I'm more so trying to focus on my relationship with God and making sure that is strong. And if it is strong, like everything else will flow from it. So I don't feel super stressed to like work when I'm not taking care of my relationship with God, because that's ultimately my #1 goal in life, is to, you know, have that relationship be as stable as possible, because ultimately it brings me joy and it brings me peace and it brings me everything that I need in life. Honestly, when I don't spend time with God, don't go to church, like I end up getting so anxious. I have anxiety about the littlest things, and I realized that because it's like my focus is not on God anymore. It's on all these little things that like I'm trying to do and get done, and it's so overwhelming. So, you know, I definitely want to be a little bit more involved in everything, you know, church-wise this year. And yeah, I want to invite you guys to church. I want to hang out with you after church, before church, if you live in Dallas. If you ever need advice on anything, like please email me, reach out, DM me. Like I've done that before for other people, and it's been the most rewarding thing ever. All, you know, Christianity is about, it's being there with other Christians and even people that are not Christians, and showing them that there is a way to live a better life, a happier life, and that they don't have to go through life so stressed and sad and depressed about things. Like God is just so good, and if I can show that through my life and show that with my life, then I want to do that, and that's all really I am here for. So that's definitely my #1 kind of resolution this year, is just to really dig deeper with Christ and see everything that he has in store for me. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's really the only few things that I'm trying to do this year. Just be more intentional about my life and everything that I'm doing with it, and not fill it up with like little sand, but fill it up with rocks and like solid things that actually matter. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave any comments down below, any questions you may have. So yeah, just subscribe to my channel, especially if you want to see how I stay fit in 2020. And yeah, it's gonna be a great video. I'll see you guys later, and thanks for watching.